Hey guys, it's Chase. Welcome back for another episode. On a previous video, right when this Josh AI touchscreen released, we unboxed it, we powered it on, we talked about some of its capabilities, but we didn't get to play with it. So now it's sitting in a home, fully flushed out, programmed. This is an example of my favorite screensaver, but just one of the many options you can choose. Screensavers kick on between a minute and 10 minutes after last use and can run as long as you want before the touchscreen actually goes to black. Right up here, you can see there is a phono and a mic, a phono sensor for lights and a microphone. So when you walk by the touchscreen, it wakes itself up when it senses motion. What's really, really cool about this is Josh has made that a usable sensor for us in programming. So I can set up commands in a well-walked area like this mudroom, where when you pass by the touchscreen, even if you don't interact with it, it senses movement. It can go ahead and turn on the entry scene or something for you. So that's kicking out of the screensaver just because we're previewing a couple. There's a ton of different aesthetics here. And this is just the beginning. So to talk about installation, this is an on-wall retrofit, hardwired by PoE. You can run these touchpads off of Wi-Fi with a power extender in the wall. We're going to get faster response time and more consistent power, as well as it using the PoE version of power over an internet cable. Make sure that this device is included on our battery backup system for when we lose power, which we're on a ranch property, we lose power a lot. So this is just the retrofit version. As you can see, it sits a little proud of the wall. We do have retrofit and pre-construction options to flush mount this back flush with the drywall. Given the texture here, it would have looked a little weird, so we didn't do it, but you can get these completely flush with the drywall and look really clean. This is just your standard retrofit installation. So from here on, when the touchscreen wakes, the first thing you're going to be greeted with is a welcome. So it says, "Good afternoon, Chase. It's 45 degrees and windy in Silverthorne." We're in Silverthorne, Colorado. And right below it, you can see there are 30 light loads on and 25 shades open in the house. If there was music playing, a TV on, some other option in an active state as part of the system, it would show up here on the headline. There's nothing happening in the home, but we can go ahead and click on shades here and see every shade that's open. You can go into groups. We can go ahead and just hit close there. We'll come back here. Now we've only got 25 shades open. Same thing for the lights. So we can come in here and see every light across every room, go in, micro adjust it right there. This GUI works the exact same for shades. So what you see me doing with the lights here is applicable. You can hit the 3 dots, and that's how you get to this 1% slider option. See, now it's updated to 24%, and because it's Lutron, we can go all the way down to 1% control of our lights. That's our home screen. It's pretty sweet. You may see that there's a text window down here and a microphone button as well. You could, if you wanted to, text a request on the keyboard to Josh, which is awesome in the phone app, guys. I don't use it as much on the touchscreen at my house. Typically what I'm gonna just do is utilize this as a microphone node that you have to physically press. So the touchscreen's not gonna wake up from a "Hey Josh" or an "Okay Home" command, but you can throw in a command via the mic button over here. So let's just throw out a general command and see what Josh feeds back to us. So like I said, we have a text bubble here that we can go ahead and type. It also activates the voice, so you can throw in a voice command. You do have to physically touch this unit. It's not like the dedicated Josh microphones that have a wake command, but you know, it essentially adds Josh voice control to this room at the touch of a button. So we'll give Josh just a little prompt. "What's the weather today?" All right. In Silverthorne, it's currently windy, 45 degrees. Expect a high of 45 and a low of 31. These touchscreens will speak to you from the internal built-in speakers. We have it disabled in this location, so he's not going to speak back to us. That's at the homeowner's request. As you can see here, once I'm in the chat window with Josh, I can hit the icon there to type. I can also then just hit the mic. So you can ask Josh a ton of cool things. What's a sugar cookie recipe? So Josh partners with ChatGPT to enable full website searching, and it'll send this to your phone, guys. I use this when I'm out at the store trying to figure out a recipe for the family. There's stuff like that. You can ask them any question. If you're a history buff, I use my Josh for history searching all the time. Very lame, but I do it all the time. So we'll throw out a command like that. Okay, Josh, tell me about the first Viking raids. So I wasn't too specific there. So it's going to give me the first Viking raids ever. So, okay, Lindisfarne raid, Jarl raid, Isle of Iona. And it'll keep spitting out image. So you can learn to, as well as controlling all of your home automation centrally. So what I like about this is instead of feeling like just a smart home system where you can, it's got pre-programmed automations, it's really an assistant for your life. So you can also just utilize Josh as a personal assistant, which is how he's used most of the time in my life, right? Maybe once or twice a day, I'll have him turn on music, turn on a video screen, but I use him to leverage questions, as well as, scheduling timers and alarms through my house because he utilizes the distributed audio system in my house. Hey, Josh, set a timer for tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Hands-free. Then my Sonos soundbar in the morning starts playing a wake-up chime for me to get up. There's a lot of cool things you can do as you get into it. That's our home screen. Let's dive into some more of our room, navigating the rooms, sections of the home, as well as individual device controls and scene programming. So we're going to be looking at our rooms now. So as you can see, all these pictures mirror what's happening, what the rooms look like in the actual home, right? So if I hit on main level, I can see the bedrooms that are down there, the entry, the garage behind me, the mudroom we're in, some other bedrooms, laundry, right? This is a massive house. Your system, if you've got a smaller home, typically you can break it by floors if the house is small enough, like mine, 2-floor structure. I've just got it labeled by rooms. I haven't even told Josh that the floors are different. So you can break it up in a lot of micro ways. You can have it to where if you're on the first floor and you give a command, it only affects the first floor. You can break up areas of the home, which we've chosen to do here. So if I was to stand here in the mudroom and give a command that says turn off the entire home, it's going to turn off the entire house except for the guest apartment suite. We don't want to bother those people. So you can program, isolate rooms, make sure the microphone in your kid's bedroom doesn't have access to the master bedroom from voice commands. A lot of cool things. So we're just going to click on main house here. And as you can see, it's going to pull us up to the main home. When you click main home like this, there's really nothing to show because there's no devices in it. So why don't we go to our recreation zone? And then why don't we go to our theater? All right. In our theater zone, we have 2 options, the theater bathroom, 3, the theater patio outdoors, or the actual theater. So now that I'm on in the theater, you can see all the options I have available to me. I've got a Josh microphone. I can click and go ahead and mute the microphone, turn it on, change his response time. If you single tap a Josh, it'll listen. If you double tap it, it'll mute. A lot of different things you can do. Microphone disabled, it physically disconnects the power, guys. It's not a digital mute. I love that about it. And locally in the room now, that Josh is going to display a red LED saying, I'm not listening, can't listen, you have to turn me back on, which you can do physically by touching the unit or through your app, however you're experiencing it. So we've got music, lights, shades, video, and the microphone. I can click on my lights now, all lights, global command, right front and center. Didn't have to click anything, no special programming, no paying for that programming. Then I can isolate my cans, my fireplace spots. The center cans are above the couch. Rear cans are back by the poker table. We can go ahead and turn them off individually, or again, go ahead and globally control all of them, turn off all the lights in that room. And now when we click back here, it will update, say 3 lights off. Same thing for our shades. We've got 3 shades closed. I automatically pulls me into the all shades, which I love, guys. If you have Control 4, you have some other platforms, all of them can be programmed well. None of them have this clean of an app where instinctually Josh knows, well, if I'm clicking on the light button in the theater, aren't I talking about all of them typically? If I want that micro control, give it to me. With most other softwares, when you click on a button, you're gonna see 3 shade icons right away. I've got a summary of all my shades. I can actively open, close them from the top here, as well as pick some percentage settings, use the slider, or again, go and individually close, open those shades. Lighting and shades control is essentially the same for the end user. Then we've got our video here. So we could come in here and as you see, theater's off, the power button's checked out, but I can click on my Roku my Luma navigation, which is pretty cool. I don't think we've ever showed this in the movie theater. The homeowner wanted it. He can click the Luma button and it actually displays all 24 cameras around the house split up on his big screen. For there, we've got a Nintendo Switch. They've got a plug-in port for that, as well as our theater Kaleidescape. So you can call on these via voice in the room, via the Josh remote. You could also use the phone app, tablet, very similar experience. Why would you go with the tablet when you've already got the phone app? When 5 o'clock hits, Zach can speak to this. The last thing I want in my hand is my phone. It's gonna keep going. I'm never gonna get a break, never get to decouple, don't get to spend time with my family. So at 5 o'clock, the phone stays in the office. I still wanna use the app. This is no nonsense, no distractions. You put an iPad in a room like this, you get your email updates, you got all the other apps, you got a bunch of bull crap. You'll receive text messages if you're like an Apple user. So this just is focused, easy to use. And again, if you don't know where you're going, you can always just throw out a voice command. So that's kind of our little rundown of what's in the room. We're gonna dive into just a video on the music because Josh has changed the game with their music integration and eliminated that 2-3 app process for Sonos, for Autonomics that has existed as a plague across the centralized control system platform, right? Like I go ahead and say, hey, Control 4, start a stream in the dining room. Well, now I can either play upon random radio stations or I've got to open up Sonos and tell it what to play. Does all that natively in Josh. We'll dive into it in a minute. Anyway, so let's back out of this. We've got our zones. We've got all that goodness. Now let's go to our devices. So this is a global device menu. So as you can see here, access is going to be our locked or like electric keypads, our gate entry systems. Maybe if you've got one of the Schlage locks with a number code pumped in, that's going to show up there under access. Keypads is for the Lutron keypads throughout the home. So you'll never really use that as an end user because you can just click on the light loads in the app, but it is pretty cool that you can pull up and see every button on every keypad and run those commands that are Lutron based and already programmed in Lutron anytime you want. Other is going to be like lights, phono sensors, motion sensors, and that's what this is, right? We discussed that. If I walk by this, I can have that phono sensor up here triggering to turn on the welcome command in the home. Obviously, someone walked by it. We've got our video where you can see every video zone in the house, music where you can see every room that has distributed audio, play them individually, play them as groups. Same for the video. Lights, you get this breakup that I really like here, where instead of just listing 260 Lutron lights, I think we have around 230 Lutron lights. The others are shades. So of the 200 lights, if they were just on here in tile formation, it would be a mess. Check that out. Right when I click on lights, there's a global off. Same thing for shades, global open, global close. Every other control platform is missing that from a homepage integration. So I can hit all off, kill every light in the house, hit all on, turn everything on, or I've got my room breakdown here. So let's take a look at the rec stair landing here, just because it shows both examples. So the pool patio, none of the lights are on, they're all white. The game room, all the lights are on, so all those lights are yellow. Each dot represents a light load locally in the room for you to control. You can see on the rec stair landing, we've got the stairs on, we've got the lander on, but we don't have the stair accents on, so that's why that light's not lit up. Easily from right here, I can hit the off button, turn off those light loads. They all went white. Let's click on the room to confirm, nothing on. From right here at the rec stair landing, again, still a global control. Then if I want, we can come in here and control individual light loads. But again, now I can just turn, let's do the theater because those lights are off. Turn off all the lights in the theater. They've already updated. We click on it, all the lights are on. This is by far my favorite app navigation on the market. It's not even close. So then let's get to our scenes. So they can be programmed from your phone app. They can be programmed from the web browser. Scenes cannot be programmed on the touchpads, but that's okay. I don't think you need it, but you can still activate them. Good morning, movie intermission, movie timeout's a pretty funny command. The kids at this home love falling asleep watching the JVC cooking the projector in the system all night while they sleep through a really loud movie or something. So that just at 2 a.m. every night, make sure, or it's 1 a.m. here, 1 a.m. every night, make sure theater's completely off. movie time is their movie night. Good night just gets the house prepped for bed. That's a general breakdown. There's a ton of settings. You can change the background photo. You can AI generate something you like. We'll go ahead and click on my house just to show a representation. So this is an AI I live in a cabin. This is an AI generated rendering of a cabin in the woods in the Rockies that I prompted Josh to make. I love it. And then again, all the same goodness. You can see all the rooms. You can see, so I've got main floor and tech closet. You're seeing tech closet because I'm the programmer. End users don't see the equipment rooms, right? You can see bathroom, bedroom, main floor, kitchen, all that goodness. And again, you can come in here. You can change the building photo. So you can go with a standard photo or an AI generated photo. Door link settings. So what that, Josh just launched that, and I don't know if we'll get to break it down today. Josh put out a really good video on this, and we'll break it down at some point too. But essentially now, let's say you've got a doorbell camera, right? Integrates with Josh natively. When somebody rings the doorbell, you're going to get a prompt from Josh. It's going to use the picture image coming in, run it through an AI scanner and tell you, hey, UPS just dropped off a package at the front door, just from motion. Somebody rings it, it'll tell you who's at the door, and it'll give you a quick description. You know what I mean? Dude in black coat, don't answer the door, right? You'll know that before you turn the corner, just from your phone or one of the touchscreen locations. It's one of the better two-way communication uses of a doorbell cam. It's not the most fleshed out in form of like two-way video calls. It's a one-way video call. You don't really, I hate hearing that. I always hear, well, you know, it's not a video call if the person can't see, the person at the doorbell can't see you in the house. If someone rings your door, why would you want them looking at a picture of you? You just want to see a picture of them. So what happens is you get a video call. The other side, the person at the doorbell is just getting an audio call. You can clearly see what's going on. You guys can chat over communication. They can't see you. I think it needs to stay that way. I see a lot of people asking for two-way communication outside. I don't think that's security focused. But anyway, it's a super clean integration. So that's a rundown of this unit. And again, I'm not going to get into all the settings. It's essentially a tablet. You can customize anything about it as far as, you know, how bright it is, how loud the speakers are, yada, yada, yada. Screensaver time-ons, what screensaver you like. You guys saw there's some pretty clean screensavers. You can have that so when you walk by, the screensavers turn on. The one thing that this touchpad doesn't have is a internal web camera for intercom within a home. So that's a really big thing people were into hard, was like, you know, video calling throughout the house where you had the little buzzer button. You could speak through the talks in all the rooms. That fell off. It then made a resurgent with on-wall touchscreens where people are video calling in a home. It sounds really cool. People get really excited about it. I've never seen an end user use it. So I really don't mind that they didn't invest their time into that. So again, this is our on-wall configuration. It's powered over Ethernet PoE. For fastest response, you can retrofit these Wi-Fi anywhere you want as long as there's an outlet in the area for you to tap off of. And they've got a tabletop coming soon. I've seen some rendering for it. It is clean. This is available in Onyx White and Onyx Black currently. And again, this is just mounted proud onto the drywall because this is mine from my house. So I'm going to pull it back out here. I just wanted to give you guys a demonstration in a real world home with a bunch of controls. You can order these retrofit or pre-construction flush mounts from our partners at Walmart. So just reach out. We just did 17 Josh micros in a home with their flush mount kits, and they look clean, guys. You guys have seen the nanos from this property. They sit flush about 1/4 of an inch, proud about 1/4 of an inch. These guys sit completely flush with the finish. Would not recommend the flush mounts if you've got such a textured wall back there, as it will look a little off, right? If they smooth the wall around it to give it that flush look. But if you're going with a more modern paint style, more modern pattern, you can get away with it. They look extremely clean and like they're built into the home because, I mean, it sits flush with the drywall. So really cool. It's just kicking me back to main floor here. We'll go back to our home screen again. Oh yeah, we're back in my house now. So thanks to you guys for joining me on a quick and deep breakdown of the josh.ai touchscreen and its capabilities for programming, daily use, and why, even though I have access to this on a phone app, I won't turn this down. This guy stays. I've got one in my office and one in my living room, and I actually made a wood platform for my on-wall that's in my office, waiting for their proper on-wall model to release. but just because I love controlling music through this without having to worry about opening a phone app. It's always ready to go. And again, we'll look at, we'll throw this out onto a screensaver real quick. There's tons of option, guys. You can AI generate them. They're just so gorgeous. Yeah, it's 2:12 p.m. at Chase's house on April 17th. And again, click on it. I'm gonna get my weather deep dive. Can ask him to do anything as my personal AI assistant in my home, as well as all that good stuff like watch Stranger Things. And it'll pull up Netflix, go to Stranger Things or whatever. Those are always changing. So I wouldn't make that your main reason for getting Josh. What happens is apps like Netflix or HBO will update an app and it'll kind of make that seeking hard for Josh depending on the way they've set it up. So just be wary. It goes in and out based on the distributors of those platforms. The Kaleidescape integration is super nice to be able to call in any movie that's on your hard drive. And let's say you throw out a phrase like Top Gun Maverick and you thought it was on your Kaleidescape and it wasn't, but you want to watch it right now, you don't want to wait. After it searches the Kaleidescape, then it's going to go find Amazon Prime or wherever you can watch that movie on a streaming service. So without further ado, if you like this, reach out. Josh is the most intuitive, forward-facing AI program in your house. It's more advanced than like a Google or an Amazon Alexa. More importantly, it's privacy focused. They don't sell data. Communication doesn't leave your processor in the home. It's a security first AI assistant, something I'm really proud of and really excited to keep working with. So thanks you guys for joining me. If you're looking to upgrade your system, reach out today. Josh can be retrofitted into homes. It can easily go into new construction. It can also overlay over common brands like Crestron or Control 4 to where you don't have to rip out the backbone of your control system, but you still get that sweet app access as well as the voice commands throughout the home. So no matter the state of your control system, if you're looking for something this forward, reach out today, speak to one of our experts. Let's start that journey on an actual smart home, not just something somebody's calling a smart home today. Reach out.